Hello guys, thank you for joining me once again. Today I wanted to talk about another fountain pen that I actually end up having in my possession, I assume by mistake. Let me tell you the story first. So I was watching another peer reviews on Lorelei 691. To be more precise, I was watching Douglas from Inquiring Minds review on the Lorelei, and I decided to get one because I was very interested in the nib that he had. So I placed an order. I received the fountain pen. It came in a nice box, Lorelei. I usually don't keep the boxes, but for this stories, it kind of makes sense, and I decided to keep it for now. So it came in a box, nicely inside. It was the fountain pen. I pulled it out. I looked at it, pretty cool, nice, and I opened it, and then I got a little bit surprised. Like, what is this? Lorelei does not come with that nib. And then on the barrel, I noticed it was saying Bluedew. So, I mean, it was an interesting surprise. I never intended to buy the Bluedew because, well, in my opinion, I don't think the price it's really fair with what you get comparing the Lorelei exists. So I actually had a pretty good laugh. I mean, this is the actual branded Bluedew. It even comes with a cartridge for us inscripted as Bluedew. So funny. I was like, okay, let me try once again. So I placed another order for 2 other fountain pens. And I decided to get the blue and red color, just out of curiosity to see what they are. So I got them quite recently, and I did not open the boxes yet. I'm actually curious to see what's gonna happen. So in here should be a blue and a red. Hopefully I got at least the colors that I wanted. So let's try with this one. Okay, so again, I don't keep boxes. And this one is the red one. Okay, cool. So it comes with a sticker. Lorelei. I don't need that. Okay, I'll put it on the side. We don't need the box. So first thing first. Okay, there's no Bluedew inscription on it. Okay, fine. Let's get the other one. Okay, that's the blue one. Comes with the thing at the end. Okay, I think I noticed that this one doesn't have the Bluedew inscripted in it either. I mean the stamp on it either. Alright, so I guess I did got basically what it shows, a Bluedew my mistake and 2 Lorelei. Oh, hold on. So the red one came with the nib that comes on Bluedew. I mean, it has the cuts on the side, the breather hole. Okay, what about... Okay, no, it comes with the default converter, which I actually like, to be honest. Nothing wrong with that. What about this one? Oh, okay, so this one comes with the actual default, the nib that it's on Lorelei. So, so I guess funny story. My blue Lorelei is not a Bluedew, it's a Lorelei, but the other ones they come with the red one comes with a nib from Bluedew, and the white one is pretty much, I guess, a Bluedew, a white Bluedew. So this was interesting. I guess this is proof enough that these fountain pens are made basically in this, at least in the same factory, if not exactly on the same conveyor belt. And I guess I could build my own Frankenpen. There you go. All parts fit. So it is the same fountain pen basically. And the only difference that I truly see that probably matters is the actual nib. Alright, so let's, I guess, look into it and see if we find any big differences between them. I guess I'm most curiously now about the nib, to see what nib works best. And at the same time, I guess, give a review to see how good this pen it is. So I guess I'll compare it with the blue. I'll compare the Lorelei blue with the Bluedew white. I'll put this one aside. I assume they'll be very similar. So first of all, caps are exactly the same, just different colors. The clips are exactly the same. They're the same size from what I can see. Absolutely no difference between them. I don't see. I see any inner liner on the cap. While I was playing with this, I noticed that there's one thing that you need to pay attention. When you put it in, the nib can actually end up under the inner cap by mistake. So that means you could easily bend the nib, and at the same time you will definitely get ink in between the inner liner and the cap. So pay attention how you put it in. At the same time, I noticed that if you kind of go in an angle, there's always a chance to crisscross it, and you could easily ruin the threads. So double whammy. Pay attention how you screw it in, basically. If you're doing it properly, the cap comes off very easily, very fast, not an issue. Threads are very nice, very smooth. Even when you hold it, there's nothing sharp in there. It's a pretty cool little pen. You can post it. Seems to be fairly securely, even when you hold it from here, if you're trying to do strokes, like longer hash marks. Yeah, that was pretty secure in there. The threads in here are actually very nice, very smooth as well. And there's not a lot of play in there, which is good, because most probably if you want, you could eyedrop this, since this is plastic, well, acrylic, so, well, still sort of a plastic in there. And most probably, you don't have an O-ring place, but you could most probably be very generous with the silicone grease, and in theory that should stop any ink or air flowing into the barrel. I'm still very amused by this nib. It looks a lot like basically a Leonard. He has exactly the same breather hole, and he has the same cuts on the side. Unfortunately, I don't have one to see if I can actually fit one in it, on this pen. But something tells me probably not. From what I remember, this nib seems to be a little bit wider, and the radius on the end of the nib, it's probably slightly different. Speaking of, I mean, I'm not going to go into this pen because it's basically exactly the same. I can actually use the parts from one to another. It's exactly the same. The only difference is the converter, and to be honest, the Lorelei, actually the Lorelei 691 seems to be more ink than the Bluedew. Check that out. So out of the bat, in capacity, I would say you're much better off with this than this. Now I feel ripped off because I wanted a Lorelei originally. And yes, this is serviceable as well. You just have to pull on this. It's going to come out and you're fine. I'm not going to do it now because actually it seems to have a nice coating of silicone grease. There's no point in removing it. Okay. Yeah, so what I wanted to look at, the actual nibs, is if the only difference is the actual cuts. So first of all, I'm noting that that beam is pretty much all the way in there. So I'll put it exactly in the same position just to make sure I'm not going to have any flowing issues. Oh yeah, based on what I remember, these nibs are way bigger than the Leonard. Oh, sorry, off screen here. So the nibs are basically exactly the same size. As in lengthwise. The ends, they seems to be kind of the same. Maybe the so-called Bluedew, it's a little bit rounder from what I can see. And the only difference is the slits on the side. That's it. Oh well, and the breather hole. Actually, I do notice a difference. So it looks like this one, it's a little bit more rounded, especially the ends. And this one seems to be more bent downwards in here. Ah, okay, maybe this way we'll see it better. There you go. So, interesting. There is a small difference in there, in how it's bent. I wonder if the cut is that important. Trying to see if there is it's spreading a little bit. The slit that it has on the side. And from what I see, I think it does a little bit. Yeah, okay, so maybe that does make a difference. What I was thinking is if you squish the sides a little bit more, maybe you'll give it more maybe give it more freedom on the tip. But I guess the cuts on the side do help. Alright, other than that, the feeds are pretty much identical. Yeah. The only thing is I'm a little bit curious if that channel is good enough for helping with the ink flow. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you that I actually made this channel a little bit deeper and a little bit larger. That's why they look different. Because originally it came like this and it was like a very small slit, and I mean I played with fountain pens and G-nibs, for example, and you definitely need way more flow for something that flexes like a nib, like a G-nib. So I just maybe I should have not done it, but I decided to do it, and we'll see if that affected the pen in any way. All right, so let me put this back. Very interesting. Okay. All right, so I got it. It's a little bit tricky to put it in, but once you get it in, I guess it's fine. Okay, so There are some slight differences between the nibs. Alright, should be interesting. So, oh, like I said, pen, nice pen. Actually, I like it. It feels very nice, very well balanced actually. If I look at the balance, it's pretty much in the middle, capped. Kind of moves just below the cap, which is perfect. I don't feel that cap almost at all. Even if I hold it like this, hold it like this. Seen some people holding it like this. This is fine. Cool. All right. Let me ink them up. I actually wanted to how I wanted to test the nibs. I want to use the flex, the one that flexes the most, to do the main lines of the drawing, and the other one I just wanted to maybe just do the hashes on the background. So for that, what I plan to do, it's actually I'm gonna use Noodler's black ink. And what I did basically I used one fill of this to 8 of water. Hopefully I'm gonna get a nice gray wash out of it. Okay, quickly. Oh wow, this is gonna be a long one, guys. I'm sorry. I just wanted to look at the differences between them. Just getting some tissues. Okay. So funny to see that the Bluedew converter is actually smaller than the Lorelei converter. Which, if you do a lot of writing, especially flex writing, you do want the other one. Okay, first time inking it. Okay, this one has some issues getting ink inside. I'll try it again. Huh. It only goes halfway. It doesn't fill up. Now I'm questioning, is it the section or is it the converter? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab the converter from the other one. Clean the section a little bit. I have ink everywhere now. Okay. Let me try again. Okay, so looks like there's an issue with that converter. This one works fine. Still not full, but definitely way more than the other one had. There you go. So out of the get-go, before even putting the pen on the paper, I'm definitely not impressed with the Bluedew converter. Sorry, doing it off camera. Just cleaning up the section, cleaning up that nib a little bit. Actually, I'm glad I tried the converter on this one, because in the other one, I won't be able to do exactly the same thing. Okay. Let me put this one aside. Because I have a very small sample, I'll have to actually use the syringe for that one. Okay. Ink. Oh wow, 22 minutes. I might actually skip the drawing. Or maybe I'll just put it in anyway, because you can skip it if you want. Yeah, I'll put it in. I'm sorry for the long video. Alright, this. Let's see. Okay, so downstrokes are definitely thicker than side strokes. And I'm not really putting any pressure. Okay, flex. Alright, actually keeps up. I wonder because if the feed has a lot of ink in it. Okay, starting to skip. Just getting a feeling of the nib. Always write Latin if you want to look smart. Fleximoros. Sorry. Okay. Flexes nicely. Okay, not too much. Too much. Okay, give it a second. Okay, you can't flex it that much. About this way. And you'll have a consistent flow for now. But keep in mind, this feed I did modify it, so not sure if, yeah, I should have not. I'm sorry. Maybe it's not very fair. Let's try the other one. Well, first of all, doesn't have ink in it. I wonder if I had to clean the nibs. I forgot to do that. Usually with the G nibs you have to actually clean them. Okay, there you go. So this should be like a lighter gray, exactly what I need. You have to press on this one to get ink. So if I just glide on the paper, it doesn't do anything. Oh, sorry. But I have to press. Okay, so maybe this nib is not that great. Should be interesting. Okay, so... Okay, maybe it's just the flow. It takes a while. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean a little bit this nib and I'm gonna floss it just to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm gonna start doing the drawing soon and quickly. Today I just wanted to do the picture that you're seeing right now on the screen, just a little bit different. So it's gonna be this kind of a tree noodle. Should be interesting because it's gonna be interesting for the lines and the variations of the lines. That's why I wanted to try this and see if I see how great it'll look. Anyway, again, I apologize for the long video. I'm gonna start the drawing session and I'm gonna come back with conclusions. Please feel free to skip this part if you want to, and see you soon. Okay, well, this one was a little bit of a doozy. Quite was definitely a trip. The pen that actually, well, not the pen, the actual nib that disappointed me, and I was kind of expecting it to work nicely, was the default one that came with the Lorelei nib. This one, it's giving me a lot of trouble actually. My hand still hurts from it. It doesn't seem like it wants to draw any line. It's basically, if I just glide above the page, it's very dry. And I already changed the ink. Midway, I thought that maybe because I made the water combination with the ink to make like the gray wash, maybe that was the issue. So I changed that, and I still have this issue. You don't get a lot of flecks. I mean, you get some, but normal, like if you just glide on the page, it's barely. Maybe my nib is defected. I'm not gonna deny that, but it's kind of hard to test it against something else because, well, this is the only one that I got. So for me, this nib didn't seem to work very well. I'll probably work a little bit more on it. Maybe try and take the tines a little bit apart and see if I'll get it working properly. I'll make an update on in the comment sections if I ever get it working properly. The other one though, the Bluedew nib worked actually pretty good. I liked it. I had no issues with it. He actually writes pretty good. Even the lines seems to work very well, but it railroads very fast. So I kind of have to wait for it a little bit. And then sort of works. Oh wow, now it works. Of course it works. Okay. So sometimes it just doesn't want to. Not a bad nib, I guess. However, the question is, does it deserve the price that it gets? I mean, for the same pen, is it worth that 2 to 3 times the cost? Honestly, I don't know. That's up to you. That's your money, I would say. But personally, I was lucky-ish to get this by mistake. I completely admit it. I doubt I'll have that luck again. I mean, I did got the other nib on the red pen. Again, most probably by mistake or luck. Now, let's say I test both nibs. Let's say that these nibs are gonna, for whatever reason, get trashed 2-3 months from now. Am I gonna buy the nib again? Honestly, probably not. If I get this one to work, for what I wanted it to use, this will be okay. Right? It will be okay for what I need. If I really want this kind of flex, like the Bluedew it gives you, then I'm just gonna use these, which are pretty much G-nibs. And I have no issues with this, especially in this pen. Or this, which is another fountain pen that it's using the G-nibs and just works beautifully, right? I never had any issues with it. Actually, this is extremely wet. I'll have some reviews on these two pens in the future. So bottom line, up to you if you want to purchase it. Obviously, it does flex. Mind you, I did modify the feed a little bit so it lets more ink into it, probably because it's still railroading. I can open up a little bit more, which shouldn't be that much of an issue. I can make videos on how to do that if you want. So the lines we're drawing with this with the Bluedew nib actually worked very well. I had no issues at any stage. As a matter of fact, to the end, to sort of fill in this part, I went back to it. The other one was, it got me lost around here, and I kind of almost give up on the drawing, but then I kind of stopped caring that much, and eventually actually find the rhythm for that nib too. And I'm pretty confident I can make it work. Maybe mine was a little bit damaged or something, and I'll work on it and I'll make it work. And again, I'll update the comments if I succeeded in getting it working. So again, final conclusions. I still believe that the original Bluedew, if you get the not Bluedew, original Lorelei, if you get that nib working okay, it's more than enough. If you need more flex, I would recommend one of these fountain pens, which is, I believe, Osprey fountain pen and Ackerman fountain pen. I'll make some reviews on these ones. I really like these ones, especially for G-nib use. And they both have their own merits. Well, I guess more in the review as it will come. Final conclusions. I don't think I would buy these nibs, to be honest, not at the price that they're going for, personally. If you think it's okay for you and the money is no issue and you like the pen, I mean, the other two pens, they don't come in acrylic and they don't come in different colors, right? So maybe that's more appealing to you. And I think Bluedew came up with other colors as well rather than blue and red and white. Plus, I think Bluedew does come with a case and some extra nibs, I think, by default. The prices used to be around $99 US. I think they went down around 80 something dollars US now. I still wonder if the price is actually worth it for a case and 2 extra nibs. I mean, for like 15-20 Canadian dollars, I can buy like 10 of G nibs. $35 US for 2 nibs. I don't know. But then again, that's my opinion. So I leave it up to you. And I think I'll close it for now here. Again, I apologize. This was a long video. The drawing took me too long, and then making the comparing between this added to the time. I'll try to cut it up as much as I can, but feel free to jump around as much as you want to by using the chapters in the description. Thank you for joining me. I apologize for the long video. I hope you enjoy sort of my video and you took away something from it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.